Question 14 is, what is the primary indicator that you can have a synthesis reaction? There will be one. So the answer for this one, well, there will be one compound as the product, which, as we just went over, decomposition has one reactant. It is the opposite of synthesis. Synthesis is combined to form a larger compound. One compound is the product. So it's basically the opposite of decomposition. Okay, 15. What is the primary indicator that you have a double displacement reaction given only the reactants? So only the reactants, they are two ionic compounds in order for them to be double displacement. And we can check it here on our word wall again. Double displacement, two ionic compounds. Here are other ways to look. The ion switch partners, gas will form, and bubbles if you were doing like a real life experiment. Okay, 15. Please excuse this. I wrote the wrong thing here. I wrote this answer here. It was late. 16. What are three things that are required in acid-base reactions? So water will be a product, salt will form, and reactants are neutralized. So for this answer, you could basically just go in your notebook and look for some notes that you have written or recent videos we've watched about it. I don't have it on my word wall at the moment, so this is what I got. And plus it makes sense for acid-base because acid is like sour, so salt would form. Sour things typically tend to like they make your mouth, if you were to eat a sour head, they make your mouth like a little numb afterwards, like you can't feel anything for a little bit, at least for me. 17, list all the things that combustion reactions have in common. Again, this is close to the slide deck or what we did in class. So CO2, H2O, heat are always products. Combining oxygen with another compound, a general equation it follows is right here. It follows CxHy plus O2 would give you CO2 plus H2O plus heat. That's how you know it's combustion. You want to identify what you would look for in oxygen as a reactant if it can form carbon dioxide. For my combustion, here's the generic, it's a generic equation. Right here, you would look for oxygen as a reactant is one of my examples on my word wall. Okay, next page. All right, 18. Given that you have reactants of potassium sulfate, K2SO4, and calcium iodide, CaL2, assume the reaction takes place. Predict products to write out the balanced chemical equation with state symbols. So K2SO4 is aqueous. In order to tell, we can look at our solubility rules. And since it is potassium sulfate, we know that sulfate ions are soluble. Potassium ions are soluble, so that would tell us it is aqueous. Cal, which is calcium iodide, would be aqueous as well because iodine items, so compounds containing chlorine, bromine, or iodine anions are soluble, so that would tell us it is aqueous as well. CaSO4 is insoluble because the exceptions for this rule of compounds containing sulfate are soluble except these 4 and Ca.